All right, guys. So today we are going to discuss fireforming, specifically fireforming this brand new Lapua cases that I've got here. And if we have a look at this one is still brand new, out of the box, never been fired. So the shoulder, everything is exactly from the factory. Now, let me just run you through, if you've been following this journey so far, we've gone through quite a couple of load developments and testing and so on with ELDXs, one of the ELDXs 143 grains and the 135 grain axe monolithic brass that we've got over here. And during that process, I was loading a couple of rounds and I'm not sure exactly what happened, but these cases over here, these four, I did something. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but the necks do not look well anymore. So that led me into the idea of fire forming them again. I've already got some federal primers in here. And if we have a look, these ones over here, all nice and shiny, these have been once fired, cleaned, annealed, the whole story, case prep, done. So here's a brand new one. This is a once fired one over here. And then we've got this one over here where I messed up the necks. So this is still technically a brand new Lapua case. And hopefully I can fire form it back to get that shoulder the way it should be. I've run it through the full length sizing die just to try and see if I can fix it up a little bit. I've run this through the rifle. It cycles properly. But yeah, let's quickly discuss the actual process of fire forming and why that would be necessary. Now, there are quite a few different ways people do fire forming. Some old school methods use fast pistol powders with fillers like cream of wheat or toilet paper or cotton, if you will. Then they load the case 2/3 full to the normal load, and then they shove that in there just to keep the powder inside, and then they go and fire those cases. While those methods have been around for years, they're generally used with very fast burning powder, specifically designed to ignite quickly under low volume situations. Now, the problem I have here, I can't really use the N555 for this purpose, as this is a slow burning rifle powder. So what you really don't want to do is use a slow burning rifle powder like the N555, then drastically reduce the charge, fill the rest of the case with some filler material, and fire it without a bullet. Slow rifle powders are designed to operate within a certain pressure range. And when you go too low on case fill or create inconsistent ignition conditions, then the pressure behavior becomes really unpredictable. And that's where the bullets actually helps create that proper and consistent resistance in the system, which promotes a more stable pressure curve and more consistent powder burn. So for the test that I'm going to be doing, we are going to keep things much closer to home. A normal match load, the normal load that I've settled on for these Axe 135 grain brass monolithics. And I'm going to be using the same N555, the same bullet, the same Lapua cases with the same primers. Okay, that one doesn't have a primer in, but you get the point. The same federal primers. And we're going to be using the same coal, the case overall length, the same seating depth for these bullets, and we are just going to reduce the charge. So instead of going with the normal charge of 41.6 grains that I've settled on for the N555, I'm going to go for a 90-ish charge of about, let's say, 38.5 to 39 grains of N555. The goal here isn't velocity or accuracy. It's simply just to get this brass to properly expand and fit the chamber dimensions cleanly and consistently so that we could have this uniform necks. Let's get this to focus again. And fired and shaped to the chamber of my rifle. And for the YouTube person out there, this is all for educational purposes and for people out there to understand the process and the concepts behind it. Now, with all that said, let's load them up and then head to the range. All right, guys, so here we are at the range. I was sitting in the office with this bad boy staring at me, and I thought to myself, let's just quickly slip out of the office and come to the range and get this done. So yeah, guys, we're going to do the fireforming on these 5. And yeah, I'm not going to measure speeds. I'm not going to check accuracy, nothing like that, because the inconsistencies on these necks, it's not going to be worthwhile. So yeah, we're just going to do the fireforming and check. This is like a little bit of a shoot for fun video. So yeah, guys, join me along. Right, let's grab the first one. Got to make sure this bubble is level. And yeah, I've set up the target cam just for interest sake. I can share with you guys as well. It's just a nice to have. Oh, and I've got this new bunny ear bag for a little bit more free recoil. So yeah, let's see how that goes as well. I have no idea where that round went. I was aiming dead center. I don't think I'm shooting on the wrong target. But yeah, not there. This is a 90% load, so yeah, could have dropped. I'm not sure. Not that much though. Instead of 41.6, it's 39 grains. It was a rough pour. Yeah. Let's check out the second one. That shot creeped up on me, scared me a little bit. This is what I was worried about with those necks. Now you can see that they're stuck. It came out, but stuck now. I think the primer popped out. Yep, primer definitely popped out. Oh, let's move to the next one. Guys, I'm not seeing anything on this target. What is going on? Oof, same story. Stuck. This is not looking good. I might just have to throw this brass away. I'll show you guys a little bit of a close-up. Looks like it's hitting a donut. But yeah, this brass is spent. I'm gonna have to throw it away. Brand new Lapua brass, just because I messed up. Oh, I guess it's part of the learning journey, so I won't make that mistake again. Hey. Sure. Yeah, definitely eating a donut there at the back. I don't know why. Drop me a comment down below if you guys know why. Last one. Oof. So yeah, guys, that was a little bit disappointing. At least 1 out of 5 looks still perfect, nicely fireformed now that I can still use. But the other four, trash can. Unfortunate. Anyway, still fun to come to the range and do some shooting. Yeah, just relieve some of the normal day-to-day stress. Anyway, guys, so yeah, like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys after the Aura match.